got to feel in heaven when my lover's near. Lord, let this moment last for another year. Though today has ended, the night's still young, I'd say. Lover, don't go away. Let it be the thing that I am longing for. Let's fly out from Manhattan to the California shore, just to watch the ships at night on the San Francisco Bay. Oh, lover, please, please stay. Don't say you have to go. Don't say you need to run. I'll stop the clock on Central Station and we can have a drink downtown. Let it be the night that I am longing for. Let's fly down south to Austin or to Ecuador, just to drink pina colada on a hot, wet summer's day. Oh, lover, please, please stay. Yeah!
I think we got it working now.
Cheers.
Hey, there we are.
Hiya.
Have we got Guinness?
I have a
Poured
Guinness.
whiskey.
You poured me literally a sip of whiskey. It disappeared.
Well, that was all that was left in the bottle.
Oh, that's fine. So I'm having a Guinness because it's good for you.
Having a Guinness.
And
it
it's-
is
and
pub
it's a
day.
pub day.
Pub day. Welcome everybody to the Sega Set. I'm the Divine Danny D.
I am El Diablo.
And I think we've got things working. This is no.
Things are happening.
This is not a. I don't know. It's going to be another one of these days. I think.
There's a ghost in the machine again.
I don't know what it is. Hang on. I got to turn all our audio off.
But how's the audio, friends? As good as Danny D's new haircut?
I just turned our audio off. There we are. I think we're back. See if that works. Just switch the channel. I shouldn't have had to do that, but I did. Everything's working now.
Hopefully, yes. We're not going to curse it.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much for the hair compliment. Now we think we got things working. They're going to fall apart. I had went so long with so little odd tech problems, but I guess that's what's happened when you're trying to run a whole show.
I guess so.
On your, anyways, for those of you who've never been here before, we're based out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We in the before times, in the land before the COVID.
Land Before Times.
The Land Before Time. I love that movie. We were live stage performers, primarily in the burlesque world. I was also a stand-up comedian, but I was a host, a producer, a writer, a man about town.
Man About Town, even. And
You?
I was a burlesque host and dancer and choreographer and woman about town. And yeah.
And you
now-
just gave up.
Well, because now, and now who am I?
Now we took all of our knowledge of,
and our about townness.
and some skills that we've never got to be able to display on the burlesque world.
This is true.
Our cooking and cocktail largesse.
I was going to say prowess, but you said largesse.
What's the difference between largesse and prowess?
Largesse and like prowess.
Oh, the difference is the hand gesture?
Yes.
Oh.
Prowess.
Prowess, like that prow of a boat?
No, I was
prowess.
gonna say
larger.
prowess, like the.
That's prowless.
No, that's when you have no prow.
But that's prowess. E-S-S-E, not prowless. Prowless means you only have the stern of a boat.
And you're a prowess?
You're prowless.
I'm a bowless.
Bowless. That's what I meant. Prow. I got it. The prow of a ship. Is that a thing? No. Bow of a ship. Anyways, none of this is a conversation that is meant.
Well, it is. Here it is. Ask questions.
Yes. And so every week we've been doing this this show. It's a little bit of cooking. It's a little bit of fun. It's a little bit of cocktail. We have some of the best people, some music. And this is, I think, the first show in a long while where everybody's here.
The whole cast
The
is
whole
in.
cast is here.
Amazing.
So we don't know, that's just us, but there's Chef Duyan is here.
Yay, Chef Duyan!
Our sexy woman, Butterscotch Blondie is
Sexy
here.
woman!
Kingpin is here.
Kingpin!
And a brand new musical act we've never had on the show. A beautiful man I know named Mr. Paul Kinnemeth.
Oh, Kinnemeth! Woo!
Yeah, it's a packed show.
Packed.
And it's all about pubs tonight. We're about the pub culture. This is one of the things I find. Because I grew up on the West Coast in Vancouver, pubs are a lot more prominent in Vancouver, I find, than they are here. Not a lot of pubs
Perhaps
in
it is
Montreal.
the English, anti-English sentiment in Montreal that keeps the British pub from taking hold. We do have quite a few Irish pubs in Montreal.
You have Irish pubs, and I find here they're very specific Irish pubs. Now, in Vancouver, there are a few Irish pubs, but there are a lot more just pubs. English pubs, Scottish pubs.
There's a lot of Irish.
Dutch pubs.
Tons of Irish in Montreal.
A rubbin' pub.
Rubbin' pub. Oh, I like that idea.
Who
It's
likes
a
a
whole
good
new
rubbin'
business,
pub?
rubbin' pub.
No, when I grew up
Well,
in
then I have to ask a question. Would you like the rub, then the pub, or the pub, then the rub?
I would like them both at the same time.
Okay.
It makes me think of the tea
Yes.
in Thailand.
And tea in Thailand. I was actually Cambodia. But...
Oh, Cambodia? Yeah, I was in Cambodia. But see, the suburb of Vancouver I grew up in, specifically Richmond, there wasn't a bar. I guess there may have been like a couple of like hotel bars that are more bar scent, but there was everything else was pubs. The first time I went to bars when I was a wee teenage boy was all to pubs.
Actually, the first time I set foot in a bar sanctioned was when I was 14. My dad took me out for St. Patrick's Day and took me to the pub.
To the pub?
Yep.
So I love pubs. To me, I love the concept of pub culture. It's always been sort of my heritage, my growing up. But I think there's a lot more to it, especially when I spent a lot of time in the UK. That's a very different type of pub culture.
What would be, because I've lived in the UK twice, and I definitely spent a lot of time at the pub in very different kind of circumstances, which I'll get into with my eventual storytelling this evening. But what do you feel is the major difference between the pub that you used to frequent when you grew up versus the pub culture in the UK?
The pub culture in the UK is a very... let me put it this way. Pub culture I grew up with was sort of a watered-down version. Just as the way I think that sports fandom in the UK is very different than it is in North America. Mm-hmm. It's a ride or die, and your local, your pub, is where some people just go their whole life. If you go out, that's where you go.
Oh, trust me, I know.
And it's but where I grew up. Yeah, we had a pub that was probably the closest that we may have gone to more frequently, but by no means was it that was not our place. We weren't just, if we went into another pub, we weren't being disloyal to anybody.
And it's funny because I think there's certain aspects of Canadian culture that we don't, like you said, it's a watered down version. Now, first of all, it's because it's not our culture. It's been brought here by our ancestors, and we have a different like the pub culture in Canada exists within, like, let's say, the drinking laws of Canada. Yeah. Meaning, like, when I lived in England in 1999, I was very quickly made aware that, like, the pub is closed at 11. Yeah. And there is no more alcohol sales after 11. On the weekend, sometimes there'd be a dance club open, and that would be open till like 2. Yeah. But for the most part, the pub closed every night at 11 o'clock, and you had people who would go there right after work and have a few. Then they'd go home, chug through their dinner and get back to the pub and drink as much as was physically, humanly possible between the hours of, let's say, 8 o'clock and 11.
Yeah.
Because that was it after that. So it's
fair. It's fair. And like I say, I just noticed at the corner of my eye that Paul Kinderman is going, yes, pubs are hugely misunderstood here. He misses the pub. Paul, who's on the show later, is Scottish.
Yep.
So it's...
But I do remember a few times in my life opening the door to a pub, unbeknownst to me that it was it was a very famous local pub, and literally it's like the record needle scratch, where everybody turns. And I mean, I've had that happen in Birmingham. I've had that happen in Oxford. I've had that happen in London, where it's just like visual you're almost like sorry, like I just wanted a pint, like I didn't mean to.
It always makes me think of one of my favorite films, American Werewolf in London. And they're out in the rural countryside where there's basically sheep farms and this pub. And they walk in and it's like they walk and everybody's talking and they just stop and look at them and like, well, la 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 la. Yeah. But anyway, so that's what the whole thing is. What we're talking about tonight is pub culture. So we got some pub food tonight. What's our pub food?
I am making a beer battered fish and chips. Because I'm in the mood.
I love beer battered fish and chips.
We're gonna make some homemade tartar sauce.
Tartar.
Now,
Did you spell tartar without the E or with the E?
I spell it without the E because tartar in my mind is raw mince of stuff.
What is the stuff you got in your teeth?
That's tartar.
You get tartar from tartar?
I don't know.
What about the guy who's in hell?
I have no idea.
That's tartarus.
Yes. He is the most of tartar.
The most of tartar? Yes. I want to be the most of something.
We're going to make some tartar sauce tonight, which again, if we're going to talk traditional pub style, that wouldn't necessarily, we'd be talking malt vinegar, but I don't, I like tartar.
Tartar sauce is not uncommon.
No, it's not uncommon, but I think, like I'm not a vinegar gal with my fries. I'm a creamy sort of gal. Savory, but creamy.
Said that about you.
Yep. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Beer battered fish and chips and some homemade tartar sauce.
Cool. And for cocktails tonight, I went with the fact that we're talking about pub, and with pub, I think beer. And I would love to be able to sit there and like, I want to teach people how to pour black and tan, but we don't have a keg. We don't have a tap. So I want to make some cocktails with beer tonight.
Okay.
One of the things I love, a shandy. I've always loved a shandy, and what I'm going to make tonight is sort of a fancy. It's called the Posh Ginger Shandy. It's a beer. It's a shandy beer, a shandy drink, made with ginger liqueur and fresh ginger syrup. This beautiful ginger syrup I made.
Nice.
And we're going to make this beautiful shandy with some wheat beer, lemon. It's a really nice, bright summer, citrusy, crisp kind of thing. And then on the flip side of that, we're going to make one of the classic beer cocktails, the Michelada. Now, not everything is going to be necessarily associated with Britain. So the Michelada definitely is
it's from the Mexican pubs.
It's the Mexican pubs, and I've been to some of those as well. They're great. So this is the classic Michelada. Well, not the classic. This is taking the classic Michelada, and we're doing what's called the Mayan twist on it, which means a Michelada, for those of you not familiar, it's like a Bloody Mary, but with beer instead of vodka and no tomato. So it's the seasoning in beer. But we're going to turn that and do the Mayan twist, which adds a little bit of that
Mescal?
stuff. Thank you very much. That's the word that went from my head completely. Mescal, and we're going to make it smoky and sexy and so good.
So good.
Yes, and with that, like I said, we have all of the cast on. Shall we see who's on the here over here now?
Let's go see who's on the here over there now.
Who's here on the here? Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, I do like my haircut, too. Thank you. Let me see. Who we got here?
Your mom's here.
Oh, excellent.
Misty Portugal is
Misty
here.
Portugal is here.
Paul is here. Hello, Paul.
Audrey is here.
Audrey. Oh, she just had her Irish latkes. Yay!
Irish latkes or Boxty.
Well,
but they're both ish.
But the funny thing is, so am I. I'm ish. I'm Jewish, Irish. So it was interesting for me to make an Irish latke, or
Germans
maybe,
were very popular.
Maybe I'll just start calling it like Jewish boxty instead of latkes. You know?
Jewish box
or Irish latkes. I don't know.
Well, potato pancakes both work.
They do. But I found the boxty is more of a pancake.
It's got batter in it.
Well, it's got a pancakey essence.
I like them. I thought they were really good.
I
And
thought they were fun.
I like them. I think there's a neat. Like I said, we talked about when you made them. Like I'd experienced it before. I know that where boxy is really just sort of taking potatoes or mashed potatoes and frying it, but using the scraps from a Sunday dinner to sort of it's not just a potato pancake. It's sort of a potato fry cake with meat and veg and everything in it.
Misty's had boxy every day since Tuesday. Yay!
Yay! Lots of boxy.
I love that when you
or
order
boxed
food,
of
it feeds
lotsy.
you for many days.
Yay!
Yeah.
Cool. So shall we head back over here?
Let's the time is now cocktail time.
It is cocktail time.
It
Let's
is.
make some cocktails.
Shooting back this way.
Let's go back. Okay, I'm gonna grab this.
All right, you grab that. I will
Grab
take my
this.
recyclage and put it out of
You
your
go.
way.
You recyclage
I'm gonna
wherever you want.
recycle.
All right. We are going to make a Posh ginger shandy.
That's like two of the Spice Girls in one drink.
It is Posh ginger, baby.
Shandy.
Shandy spice? Is that one?
Shandy Spice?
I'm
If you do jump
You know
in-
my favorite of the Spice Girls was always
Allspice?
cardamom.
That's almost like a Cardi B joke.
A cardamom beef.
Cardamom beef.
Oh, I love a good cardamom beef. All right. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with a traditional shandy, shandy is generally a light beer, often a lager, or even a light ale. We're going to use a wheat ale today. In fact, I'm going to just quickly grab. I had it set aside here.
Wow.
There we are. We're going to use the Touflou.
Oh, it looks like me.
It does look like you. I thought that was pretty.
Touflou.
Touflou. I wanted something local, so this is a Quebec beer from a brewery called Archibald. Or Archibald. So Archibald. I always got that different. Archibald. We took their wheat beer. I originally wanted to do one your brother had sent me from La Brosse called the
West Island something.
No,
To
it's
West.
something to West. Blanche de West.
Blanche de West.
But the key in this one is I wanted a wheat beer. I find this one slightly hoppier than I like. I'm not a big hoppy fan. I want, for my wheat beers, I like a more I want a more citrus note to it. This one has got citrus, but with a bitter note. So it's almost like your little bit of lemon rind or lemon pith is in it. So
It's a pithy beer.
It's a pithy beer. But so that's what we're going to use for our beer. And we are going to serve them in lovely martini glasses.
Fancy.
Because they're posh.
Yes.
They're posh.
Like the Spice Girl.
I like the Spice Girl.
Ginger. Like the Spice Girl.
Ginger, posh, baby, sporty, monster.
Scary. Monster Spice.
Is it scary?
Scary
I always
Spice.
thought it was monster. I
Scary.
really did.
Scary Spice. Not
Scary
Monster Spice.
Monster Spice? What's a Monster Spice? Well, Monster Scary, maybe that's what I thought. You know what? I can watch the Spice Girls movie like so much. I love that movie.
I think I've only ever seen it once.
Oh, I love it. It's brilliant. What I love about that movie is what's his name in With Nail and I. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
The actor who plays their agent.
Yeah, I can't remember. Again, I've seen it once.
In the movie, the player, he plays. I'll get into this. He plays a version of himself in the player. It was really funny. Anyways, so we are going to play this drink. The key about this is it's basically very simple. It's 4 ingredients: some lemon, some ginger. This is ginger cordial or ginger syrup. This one I made. I love this ginger syrup. Normally, when I make my ginger syrups, I do a simple syrup. I slice up some ginger. I let it soak. I let it soak overnight. So it's mostly sweet with this hint of spicy ginger. This time, what I did was I took the ginger. I boiled some water. I took big chunks of ginger, but a cup of ginger.
With your machete?
Yeah, with a machete, with my lightsaber.
Okay.
And I put it into a blender with a cup of sugar and a cup of water. Blonded that through until it was pulp. And then I passed that through a sieve and some cheesecloth. Got all the water out, and so you notice in this, you get this very ginger colored syrup, and it's gorgeous tasting. But if you want, this is going to give it the heat that you want, that you don't get the other way. Yeah, you gonna try?
I've tried it.
You've tried it. So it's going to give you a lot more heat, so you need a lot less of it. But it's really nice. I really like this. Oh, I'm just gonna grab my new apron for people who want a new apron.
Oh, your new apron.
I have a new apron.
So lovely.
We have the red aprons now.
I'm not wearing my red one today because it clashes with my Irish look that I have kind of.
Yeah, so if you want the Stir Crazy aprons, so just head over to stircrazy.shop, grab one. So what we're gonna do with this is
Works great as a dress.
Yeah. If you got, can you grab me the juicer, please? So we are going to take, in this case, you want to also put up the ingredient. So in this, we're going to want about 3/4 of an ounce. I think. So I remember my. There you go. Is that right? Did I put that down? 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. So we're gonna. There's so many different takes on this recipe that I came across, and I found it was too lemony. I want it to be a little sweeter. So I take 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. I'm going to do 3 bar spoons. I'm going to do 2 of these. So let me just. I know what. I'll take that. Boom. Back. Let go.
That's why sometimes I don't love this one.
Well,
sometimes I prefer the right in the eye. Sometimes I prefer the squishy one.
That's what the guy from Raise the Lost Ark said.
The twisty one?
No, right there.
Oh, right in the eye.
And then his face melted. But he was a Nazi, so it's okay. All right. So, because we're making 2, we've got 2 3/4 of an ounce of the lemon juice. We are going to put in 3 bar spoons of the ginger syrup. If you'd like it a little spicier, put a little bit more in. If you'd like... But I really wouldn't go above 1/4 of an ounce. 1/4 of an ounce is really spicy.
Extremely spicy. This
and really spicy.
But again, like not spicy like hot pepper spicy. There's
no,
just
it's
a
that
huge
ginger
amount
spice.
of ginger, like, and it's good.
Yeah.
Like when I first tasted it, I said to Danny, I would love to put this in tea. Like when you're not feeling well, because it's so gingery and it's sweet enough that with lemon, it would make very good that.
Generally when I make my ginger syrups, I like to make them with honey. I find ginger and honey just go so well. Somebody is calling me. Well, let's see who's calling.
That's fun.
Who is calling today? Close. So Deanne's calling.
Chef Deanne.
I'm going to assume that Chef Deanne has a problem. And did Skype close up on him?
It's very possible.
Oh, no. Oh, Skype looks like it's frozen.
Ah.
All right.
So many activities happening here.
All right. Well, we'll call Chef Deanne back
when
in
it's
a little
time.
bit. Yes, we will figure this out. Don't worry, Chef Deanne. We got you.
We know where you are.
And when you call me, I can't necessarily answer the phone because my phone is the camera.
There's a show going on.
Yeah, normally we would. Last week we had the nice new camera, but we found there's problems with it. So, anyways, so I'm putting the 3 teaspoons in there to give it some spice. But then we're going to add to that ginger flavor by using some ginger liqueur.
Why are you yelling about it?
Because I'm so excited about it.
Oh, okay.
Domaine de Canton, which is it's a French liqueur.
It's delicious.
It's really nice. So I want to get a little more of that ginger flavor, but without the heat and a little bit of sweetness. So this is what's going to do that. This is sort of getting, so we get the lemony with the sweet, which is sort of our base for our shandy.
I know you're going to think, oh, there we go. Good. This knife, I find it turns, so it's always blade side up, and it always makes me
Oh. What?
Why are you calling?
Chef Deanne?
Chef Deanne.
Please stop calling.
Unless we're not on the internet anymore.
Are we still on the internet?
Are we still on the internet?
Let's just check here.
Just making sure.
Yeah, we're still on the internet.
Still so yeah, we can't really answer the...
Hang on, maybe we're not.
Oh.
I want to see what's going on here. Oh.
Please stand by.
Oh, we're not on the internet. There was a network error. Oh. Well, and it's coming out here.
So, if you can still see me, hi.
How about
Sorry.
over here? I just want to this is driving me crazy.
Our network seems to be having issues in the last 2 weeks, which
I don't know what it is.
Which is odd, because it's the same network that we always had. What do I know? I just make food.
Yeah, see, we're fine on Facebook.
Cool on Facebook.
We're fine on Facebook. We're problematic on there. I want to just quickly go to here.
Yeah, a few people say, yeah, and we're missing the chat. Only half the chat's coming in.
All right. Well, if you're on the Facebook, that's what's going to happen.
Apologies, friends.
I just want to see what's happening
Please
here.
stand by.
If this
Have a
is...
sip of your drink. Assuming you weren't waiting for us to finish making this one before you made one. Have a
Okay,
drink.
we're still good over on there. We're still good here.
Oh.
So we are live.
Qui le sait,
The
man?
only place we're problematic is YouTube.
On the tube.
Again, it wasn't working before. So I'm just going to quickly send a message here.
I wish I understood the internet better and I could tell you all what's going on. Instead, tap dancing.
Twitch.
You can't see my footwork, but it is.
Hang on,
It's
Flash.
very fancy. When in doubt,
There we go.
Shake your titties.
Copy.
or jeté out.
We
still have an audience.
You're distracting me.
Understood, but you often tell me to talk to the people, so
I know, but I'm messing with you.
I'll just stand here quietly. It's going to be exciting for you.
Or you could. Why are you being so fussy about it? I just thought you were just trying to read something here.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. All right. I don't know why YouTube. Okay, now we're good. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. We're good now.
It's fine. I can wait. Take it on.
Well, no, I'm done. That's what I'm saying. You can go. I'm done.
Okay, great. Now I'm just going to dance, monkey dance. I don't know what to tell you guys. I was doing something. Now I lost my train of thought. So we'll just wait 2 seconds. Dan will make a cocktail. It'll be great. Ta-da! Woo! Yay!
I don't know what happened there.
So sorry, folks.
Yeah, so it's all good. It's just going to YouTube is problematic right now. So I'm gonna hope.
I wouldn't even know how to go to YouTube. So
For those of you who are on YouTube, hopefully you're gonna see the message. You can go to Facebook, you can go to Twitch, or you can go to our Twitter page. Everything's there. If you're on Twitch, you'll get the best experience. Wait, where the hell is? There you are. So YouTube is a problem. Head to Twitch. Lacey Laura, OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yes, I wish we could go to OnlyFans.
Next phase
Yeah.
of
No.
maybe.
So I'm just gonna continue along. We're still good. We still got people here.
Thank you for sticking with us, friends.
For people who are sticking around, thank you very much. There are some people over on Facebook. There are some people. If you're on the Facebook, I will say you won't get the full chat experience. The chat is limited on Facebook. So if you head to twitch.tv/StirCrazyShow, I want to say that's the thing. Yeah, Stir Crazy Show. Twitch.tv/StirCrazyShow. You'll get the same experience you had on YouTube.
According to Misty, Twitch is the best.
Twitch is the best. I find the stream is a little bit better. So, we're going to continue along with this now. All right. So, we've got our shandy portions in here. We're just going to give that a nice little shake. There we go. Pop that back in. Boom. All right, now that we have that done, we are going to take our glasses and we are going to just pour our lemon syrup over top of that. Boop, boop, boop. We have a lot of ice in here, so we want to sort of filter that out a bit. And there may be still some pulp the way we did the ginger syrup. There still may be a little bit of pulp in there, so double strain it. Now, the next key to this is we're going to add a little bit
De la bière.
beer. So about half, you got a tall boy, it's about half of one of those, so it's about 250 mils.
Or what fits in your glass.
Or what fits in your glass. In there. And normally I would garnish it with a little bit of ginger, but I
Used it all.
used all the ginger making my darn syrup.
That's fine.
But I think it's nice all on its own, and it's posh, and it's fancy, and there you are. The Posh
Yes.
Ginger Shandy.
Whenever I want to feel posh, I drink my beer in a martini glass too.
Oh, that's nice.
It is tasty.
Oh, the ginger is there, the spice is there.
So good that I just spilt it all over the counter. It's so funny. Both of my beverages, like I drink Guinness because I like it, but also because it's good for you. It's full of iron. And this also feels like a drink that, ironically, as much as it's got beer in it, is good for you because the ginger is so pungent, as is the lemon.
Yeah.
That it feels like a ginger lemon honey, which is something that I drink when I'm sick. So like,
Yeah, it's
do with that information what you will.
yeah. Do what you
No,
want
I
with
was
that.
talking to those people, not.
I know. I was agreeing with you. I'm following along.
Mm-hmm. Cool beans.
All right, so there we have that. For those of you who have stuck around through this crazy YouTube tech issue day, I thought at the beginning it was just one thing with YouTube, but I guess there's a whole problem with YouTube right now. So we had an issue. We've remedied it by just ignoring it.
Sometimes that's the.
Yeah, that's what happened when I broke my arm. It went away. Sometimes they just you get better from it.
I don't understand. Anyway.
So you all right?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. There we have that. Where are we at right now? What's going on?
I was gonna make some tartar sauce.
You gonna make some tartar sauce?
Yeah.
Or is tartar sauce?
Tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
For your teeth.
No, that's
Tartar sauce. That's just tartar?
that's just tartar.
If you got a bunch of it though, that could be nice tartar sauce.
I really don't want to.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Sorry.
That's...
Sorry. Clearly, I was getting in the drawer. My apologies. No, I don't want to associate the sauce I'm about to make with mouth stuff.
All right.
So, into this bowl, my friends.
Here we go.
Bring up the recipe, please.
There we are.
You know what? I put 1/3 of a cup of mayo in here because there's just 2 of us. But I'm looking at the yield, and I think I'm just gonna grab one more large spoonful.
Well, that's problematic.
One more large spoonful of mayo. Well, if we can't go overhead, I'd rather just have the people and be, good with the people. All right, so we got about 1/2 cup of mayo in here, my friends, mes amis, la gente. We've got some capers that I've chopped up. We have some dill pickle. Delish. Y'all know how I feel about dill pickle. If you don't like dill pickle, you can use a gherkin or a bread and butter pickle. It will change. I don't like sweet sauce normally. I really don't. I'm like a vinegar person. And I find that these are so tasty and crunchy. The little tiny guys. First of all, waste of a pickle.
The overhead camera just went on me.
Okay, well, we can just go to the main cam.
I know. I was just trying
I know,
to.
but I'm trying to explain something to them, and you're. All right, so we got capers, we've got pickles, we've got some onion, a little bit of onion. I dice. For me personally, if you're gonna make a sauce, and you're using raw onion, dice that stuff up real nice and small because sometimes it's a very unpleasant surprise when you're eating something. You're like, chunk of onion, not good. I'm just gonna go back here and bring up my ingredients one more time for you guys. Tartar sauce. Yeah. Parsley, which I got right here. We've got a citron and a petit peu of sugar. Now,
I'm gonna go ahead over you. So take a gander. You can just ignore me. Oh, I see why.
okay, so here's what I'm going to say to you. I've measured everything out as per the measurements that are there. I did that pretty much as a courtesy to y'all because I love y'all. Because at the end of the day, make the sauce the way your mouth likes the sauce. So we need mayo. We need some onion, some pickles, some capers, a little bit of seasoning, right? So do it the way you like it. You can always add, like, let's say, a little bit more caper or a little bit more pickle. Start slow. Build a sauce that makes sense to you. You're the person who's going to be eating it. So it doesn't, you know, and you could be like, El Diablo, come on, we're tuning in so you tell us what to do. I'm giving you general I will guide you. I'm teaching you to fish, peeps. Okay? So into the mayo, I'm going to start with, you know, a little bit of onion because we don't want to overwhelm that. The capers, I'm all in on. That's my choice. If you want to go less in on capers, that's fine. Cornichon is life, so we're just going to load a whole bunch of that in there. I got some parsley. Now, I'm not doing super duper fancy restaurant tartar sauce. Truth be told, this is kind of modeled after the McDonald's tartar sauce, but I love that shit. So I'm going to put more pickles in. I'm also just going to grab one more spoon because that one is mouillé. Pardonnez-moi.
There you go.
This is a half a teaspoon. I'm putting it in my hand instead of just willy-nilly going, oh, half a teaspoon in the bowl. Nah. Yeah. It's sugar, first of all. So luckily, because we live where we live, it's not crazy expensive. So I'm going to start with that. I didn't waste a shit ton of sugar. It's fine. We're going to give this a little stir. In 1 second, I'm going to reach over behind me and grab some pepper and some salt. So I'm just going to get this combined, and we're just going to take the little seeds out of our lemon, and I'm giving it a squeeze. And no, I'm not measuring because, again, you want to learn to eyeball stuff, and the only way to do that is to guess, test, and sometimes, unfortunately, make a mistake, and then you go, oh, shit. Maybe next time I'm going to add my lemon juice slightly less quickly or with less haste. More lemon juice. More cornichon.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more parsley even, I'm thinking.
A little more parsley. Now, is there a reason, do you prefer dry to the fresh, or is fresh also an option?
I think fresh, I don't know. I find dried herbs
have more of a kick.
Have more of a kick. I don't know, again, because I was kind of basing this on the McDonald's one. There's no fresh herbs in your McDonald's tartar sauce. And parsley, I find, I don't know why, dried parsley doesn't make me sick. Fresh parsley, like if I eat tabbouleh or something like that, we're not friends at all.
Yeah.
So I tend to steer clear.
You tend to steer clear.
I tend to steer clear often of especially flat, like Italian parsley is not so bad, but curly parsley and I are not friends.
Yeah, it works. That's nice. I like a little more vinegary myself.
I'm gonna add a little lemon, and again, good call. And there's no law against adding a little white vinegar or oops. The other thing you could add to this,
Pickle juice.
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I know. I could basically, because it's your, if you could add pickle juice to anything, you will.
Just saying, from the jar. But
Try
you know what?
Pickle juice cookies.
No, I've never made pickle juice cookies, but I'm pleased with that. Before we eat it, we want to let it sit in the fridge. I'm just going to cover it up. Pardon me. I kind of scratched it up.
Here's a question for you. We've never had this debate on the show, and I think it's an important debate. I don't know what that. I'm not even right now.
If somebody wants us to make out for followers, and I'd do it. I mean, we're married.
Well, we kiss each other for a follow and a $1 donation through bits.
Oh, well,
I don't know if you should put anything.
I don't want anyone touching my bits.
I don't know. But,
You always bits now. Whatever the
I
fuck
love
that
kissing.
means.
I love kissing you, but I still always have an issue when somebody tells me to do something. It's like, what am I to do?
I understand, but at the same time,
But
you can be
kissing
like,
is a
I don't
good
need
option.
an excuse to kiss my wife, but if you want me to, I will.
Thank you, Twitch Kiss Cam,
Mm.
for
Making
the
us do
follow and
porn.
the bits. Brrr. All right. So here's the question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise, Miracle Whip, are they interchangeable?
No.
No, never.
Mm-mm.
Did you grow up with mayonnaise or Miracle?
Ironically, I grew up in a Miracle Whip house for
So
like
did
a
we.
long time.
I grew up in a Miracle Whip house,
And
and I don't like Miracle Whip
I
at
think
all.
I think it dawned on me one day, maybe when we had fast food or we went to a restaurant and they gave us like the little Kraft mayo packets, which
Yeah.
Kraft mayo, so good. I buy Hellmann's
Mhm.
because I like the Hellmann's low fat. If I'm gonna buy Kraft mayo,
Yeah.
it has to be full fat, and
Yeah.
I try not to do that. But I don't know when the big revelation occurred in my life that like we didn't have to Miracle Whip anymore. That
Yeah.
there were alternatives out there.
Oh, I know.
But
First time I had mayonnaise, I finally understood because I genuinely thought Miracle Whip was mayonnaise.
no, it's like salad cream, but not. It's like
salad dressing. They call it Miracle Whip salad dressing.
I'm gonna actually.
And I wouldn't put that on salad.
I'm just
either.
gonna grab a Tupperware. Keep.
I wouldn't dress my salad with that.
No.
She's a weird thing.
Like, who puts mayo on a salad?
How about this? Shall we ask a question?
We can ask a question.
Why don't we ask a question while we're here? We have some good questions this week, I think. Because I think there's a couple of questions that are very obvious when you're talking about pubs.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one that I put up on Facebook.
Mhm.
Nobody really responded to it, so I thought I'd put it up here. All right. Question number one this week. What is the difference between a pub and a bar?
Oh, so much.
Yes. So please put into the comments what you think the big difference is between a pub and a bar. If you have UK familiarity with that,
Or like heritage.
well, I think what I'm saying is you have actual direct familiarity with the UK pub. I'd like to hear about your experience, and especially if you come in, if you went to a bar for the first time, and did you do it in North America, or are there real bars in the UK as well? But what is if you had to? I'm gonna put some real pressure on you. If you had to narrow it down to two things, what's a big difference between a pub and a bar?
Number one, the beverages offered.
Why?
Because traditionally speaking, in a pub, and it's just been my experience, you get pints
Yeah.
of either beer or cider.
Mm-hmm.
They will have a house wine. If you're in a fancy pub,
Yeah.
they might have two kinds of wine other than one red and one white.
Yeah.
You've got, for the most part, rail booze that if it's not like you're not getting normally, and again, I lived in the UK in 1999 and 2001, and I was in Ireland in 2010. So it's been a while since I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, you weren't getting fancy mixed drinks in a pub. You were there to have either a scotch or a whiskey or whatever.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Can I finish my sentence?
Yeah.
You were getting a pulled pint, an easy drink like a vodka soda or a rum and coke, an Alco Pop back in the day. But there was no mixology involved.
Right.
You weren't there for cocktails.
And I think that may be different currently. I think there's, with the mixology trend of the past few years, I think you might find more.
No, because those are cocktail bars. In the UK, those are you got a cocktail
I'm
bar.
saying that I'm talking about. There's also pubs outside of the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about the pubs that I've been to. I think some of the pubs that I would normally have gone to probably have an extended cocktail repertoire that they might not necessarily have. So what's the other thing? Besides,
But you're asking me, what's the difference between a
I know.
pub and a bar?
I'm just debating it with you.
Pub, 98% of the time offers food.
Mm-hmm.
Bar, not necessarily food.
All right.
And you?
I think the first, if I had to do two things, food is the first thing. I think all pubs have food, not all bars have food.
Mm-hmm.
I think you become a pub as soon as you have food, but you also, people are allowed to drink there.
Mm-hmm.
But you also serve food.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I say makes a pub, a bar, not a pub, are the amount of people who are writing a screenplay at it. I think more people will write a screenplay at a pub than they will at a bar.
I remember when I first lived in England and we went to the pub on a Sunday afternoon. And like I lived with a bunch of guys and I'd wake up sometimes at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning and the house would be empty because they were all down the pub watching rugby at like 7 o'clock in the morning. But some Sundays we'd go, it was the afternoon activity. We'd all head down to the pub. And what used to shock me was that people were there with their families. Mm-hmm. That there is no, you cannot get in here if you're not 18. Yeah. There's just, you're not drinking necessarily unless you're of age. And even at that, it's whatever. But like, I always think of Sweet Home Alabama, that silly movie with Reese Witherspoon where in the trailer, I don't even think I saw it either, but I just know that I saw the trailer so many times and there was a comment of, you have a baby in a bar, and it's so wrong by North American standards versus Sunday afternoons. People would push their baby carriages into the pub and get a table.
But are you associating now? To me, that sounds more UK Europe kind of familiarity versus North American, not necessarily pub, because I've been to UK pubs, but majority of pubs I've been to have been in North America.
No, and when I say pub, truly, because again, I'm snooty like this and I've lived there, when I think of pub...
But like you said, you've never been to a pub here?
No, I've been to pubs here, but again, I find the pubs here, the origin of the pub culture is the UK, Ireland, whatever. So like the pubs here it doesn't have the same culture. It's like somebody picked up a Japanese restaurant, took it out of Japan and put it here with the sensibilities of Canada. So I find the pub culture is the same thing. I disagree
with that. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think if somebody says this is an Irish bar, Irish pub, or this is an English pub, that's one thing. But just to say this is a pub doesn't necessarily define that it has to be
No, but you're not allowed
UK
to. Okay, but you're not allowed in Canada to roll up to your local Irish pub on a Sunday afternoon with your children and order alcohol at the table. I don't think.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Sure. No, and again, I'm not saying that that's not true, but to me, then that's a big difference between the UK and here. Not necessarily a difference between pubs and bars.
But again, even in the UK, you wouldn't bring your kids to a bar. You'd bring them to the pub, though.
Fair. All right. What do the people over here have to say? What do we got here? Music, atmosphere, ambience, size. That's how that's why I also when I'm describing the gentleman lovers on.
The gentleman lovers you've had?
That's what my requirements are. The difference.
Pubs you stand up with drink, bars have different cocktails, okay.
Pubs you... Oh, I see. Stand up with. Pub has food. Mm-hmm. Pub and dart. Which is funny because I always call them bar darts. So I assume darts... I know darts are a pub game, but I always call them a bar game. Similar distinction here with a brasserie and a tavern. What's a tavern? What's a tavern and a brasserie? What's the difference?
I would say brasserie brews its own, and Joe's the one who said it, but so I didn't make the distinction. So Joseph, please feel free. Brasserie to me is they brew their own beer. I don't know.
Does a brasserie have to be a brewery? Is a brewery a brasserie in French? We didn't get to that in my class yet. They won't tell me anything about booze in my French class. But I know a lot about cocaine.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll let Joe Schmula answer the question for me because I don't know. Hi, Kingpin.
Hi, Kingpin.
Welcome to the chat.
There we are. Chat cam. Lovely.
Children can now go to pubs in BC. All right.
Yeah, but can they get served?
Marijuana. Yeah. No alcohol.
Weed.
No.
They haven't served weed before. Cool. Excellent. Shall we head back?
We shall.
Let's head back. Let's go and have a little bit of sexy on the show. Our kiss was very sexy.
It was. I just want to get a top for this. You keep talking sexy, and I'm just going to get
Hi there.
Tupperware tops.
How sexy are you feeling today?
Well, we are going to up that sexy by exactly 1 minute. On this show, we have...
Tops.
What?
I'm just out of tops.
We're at a top. Oh, for that thing? Yeah, I think I used the last one. For the show here, we have some amazing contributors, and one of the segments we have been running along. We're coming up next week is our 1 year, right? You know that? 1 year. I'm asking you.
Oh yes, I was
because
aware.
I can't hear if they talk to me.
Okay. Yes, I knew.
Funny how you knew that.
I knew that. I actually knew that.
So we're coming up on 1 year. And Chef Duyan has been with us the longest.
Yes.
Who I hung up on. He's Chef Duyan. Don't worry, I'm gonna get back to you on Skype in a bit. But this segment is the segment we were running almost second longest. And Butterscotch Blondie is our current sexy woman, and she's been doing so.
She does so good.
She's so good.
She's so good at being sexy woman.
Yeah.
That's not to say, and I also miss our season 1 sexy woman, Galadriel Caress.
But it's still so good.
Yes, so good.
So, to enjoy for a minute, some might call the shortest minute.
That's what we've been told. The shortest minute on the internet. Here you go.
It is a sexy woman.
Eating food
For 1 minute.
A girl after my own heart. Like, I said to Danny while that was playing, like, oh, she's civilized. She uses a straw. I just open the jar and drink it out of the jar. But
I do it by the handful. Like I'm at a stream.
But I don't know why I have never thought to, like, slice a pickle and, like, munch on it with a chip.
Because you have these.
Yeah, but, okay, can we just talk about this for 1 second? Dan went out the other day and came home with these.
Canadian Tire's no-name brand of...
Okay, can we go to the check-in for a second? Because I really want them to see it.
All right. Hang on. Go to here. I want to see if this works for a second. Let's see if this works. Oh!
No, still doesn't work. That's fine. Moving on.
Hang on. I think I can get it. Let's bear with me. Bear with me.
I know, but... Okay.
There we are. It doesn't work.
Oh,
There we are. Yay!
Can you see that?
There we are.
Frank is kind of a big deal. And look at his stupid little. He's on the red carpet.
I will say he kind of looks a little bit like Donald Trump, though.
But he's kind of a big deal. But the other thing that really always makes me laugh in Quebec is how we translate things on products. So it's in English, it's Frank is kind of a big deal. En français, Frank a l'air d'un cornichon. So
he's got an air of pickle about him.
He's got an air of pickle about him, you know. But
that doesn't
this really made me laugh. I don't know.
It doesn't say the same thing.
Not that I often buy food at Canadian Tire, but like
I will say that's their no-name brand, Frank, and I think that there is something that's a spectacular name for a no-name brand, just Frank.
Frank. Well, it's kind of like what is it, Joe Fresh or just Joe now?
Is that a no-name? That's not a no-name brand, really.
No, it's Loblaws. So
is it their no-name brand?
Joe Fresh's Loblaws brand. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I think I could be wrong. It might still be Joe Fresh, but I think maybe it's Joe. I don't know.
But Frank is fantastic.
Yep.
Because I was noticing that leaving, there was other Frank products, and they all had kind of weird descriptors about them.
I live for shit like that.
So
Frank is kind of a
somebody
big
was
deal.
bored and went. Because Canadian Tire had a very specific brand before.
All I know is like Moto Master.
Yeah, for certain things they still have like
I don't remember their food.
But they had a very I don't remember what it was, but it's I just thought that's kind of funny. Okay. I need to get him back online. So I'm just gonna quickly find Chef Duyan.
You find Chef Duyan.
So
I'm gonna tell you all this one of my favorite pub stories of ever. So, like I said, I lived in Birmingham in 2001, and in 1999 I lived at Oxford. And that was tons of fun. And we got to up to all sorts of no good. Yeah. But my favorite pub moment ever, I think, was when I was in Ireland. Again, maybe 11. Oh God, it's 11 years ago. It's crazy. And I watched two old men on their bar stools at the bar. They were drinking together. They were getting along just fine. Then they weren't getting along anymore. They physically came to blows, but neither one of them stood up. They literally just sat on their bar stools, physically punching at each other. One of them fell on the floor. The other guy picked him up. They got back on their bar stools and they finished their drinks. And it was the most Irish thing I had ever witnessed in my entire life. Like, I was just like, oh, wow, wowza. Also proof that men can have a row
I'm gonna give you that.
and beat the crap out of each other. And the second it's done, it's done. Women, they'll like give you an eating disorder. Men beat the shit out of each other and they're like, want to go for a beer? You okay? You okay?
Yeah.
It's funny.
All right.
Chef Diane!
He's here. We're going to see if we get... I have some issues with Chef Diane, but some issues with Chef Diane.
Do you have... You've had issues with Chef Diane since day one.
I have for a while. I don't know what's going on.
It's not really fair.
I think we have this remedied. So we're going to head over. He's here. Again, he's the first person we brought on the show. He's a brilliant chef. Yes. However, he comes here on a regular basis and consistently disappoints me.
You always say that. I always have high hopes, and I'm always pleasantly surprised. I don't know.
But in all fairness, because of the technical glitches, I'm thinking I'm equally disappointing him.
That's possibly fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stir crazies everywhere.
Humans of the internet, Chef Diane!
Hello, Chef Diane. How are you? We see you. You move. It's amazing.
Am I frozen?
No,
you're great.
You're mobile.
I can move fine.
Yeah, you can move. Cool. We can. Oh, it's phenomenal.
Hold on, wait. When I move, you move.
And look, I can even do this. I switched the button so I can do this now with him.
Oh.
Look.
Focus on Chef Diane.
Full Chef Diane.
No idea what he did.
He made you. He made you full screen. Now you're half screen.
Now you're regular.
Oh, I'm full screen.
Yeah. So what do you got for us this week, Chef Diane? Is it pub related?
It is pub related. But first off, I'm gonna bring some clarity on the difference between a brasserie and it was what was the other thing? A taverne. Yeah. So in Quebec, a brasserie usually you have food and you can bring children, and in a taverne historically you couldn't bring women.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, women were not allowed in tavern.
So like a gay bar.
No, not like a gay bar.
No. It was just that was fine. Yeah, that was men only. Like Mayan for a very long time was men only.
And there was another one that used to be near Mayan that I still think has the Bienvenue aux Dames sign. Like when they decided that they like weren't just going to be men only, there's like this historical sign outside that says like "Ladies Welcome." So good distinction. Thank you for that. I know Joe Schmulla answered the question.
Yeah,
too,
Joe Schmulla was mentioning sort of the same thing about food and drinks. It's more of a restaurant kind of a deal.
And children's are allowed.
Children. They're served, in fact. So what are you making for us, Chef Diane?
I'm making a pub dessert called Creme Brulee. So, yeah, this is what we're going to do. It's Jello Creme Brulee. Jello base Creme Brulee, if I can say. So what we will need, we'll need a pouch of vanilla Jello, instant Jello. Gonna need about half a cup of half and half cream, percent, and we're gonna need a cup of milk, cold milk.
Ah, fantastic.
So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open the Jello, put it in the bowl. There we go. Then we're going to take a cup of milk. Go.
Precision pouring by Chef Diane.
There you go. Yep, it's precisely 1 cup. Put that shit in.
What makes a good creme brulee, Chef Diane?
Personally, I like when you have your spoon and you just break the top. Yeah. Like this is my favorite part about creme brulee. I hope this will have the same effect, but it's Jello, so I don't know.
But it's one of those simple pleasures, isn't it? Breaking the back of the creme brulee with your spoon. It's like one of those little things that just makes you happy to be alive.
I think there was in there like Dr. Oetker's used to make one that came just in a little tin, but it came with little packets of sugar that you would.
I don't know.
We had one of that like 2 weeks ago. Actually, pretty disappointing, sadly. Yeah, the top was not like crunchy, and it was not like that.
You really need a. Did you use a kitchen torch though to do it?
No, I put it in the oven at broil. That's what they were saying to do.
Yeah.
Broil it, yeah.
All right, so I put the milk. I put a cup of milk, and I put half a cup of half and half cream.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna whisk it good, stir it. For about yeah, I forgot about that. So you do that for about a minute. You make sure there's no like des grumeaux dedans.
The chunks.
Chunks.
The chunk.
Make sure that
from Goonies.
Yes, you don't want the guy from Goonies in your creme brulee.
All right. Once it's done, you're gonna pour it in oven safe a little bowl like this. There we go. Now, usually you need to put it in the fridge for about 15 minutes, but with the magic of TV, I have one.
Ooh.
TV magic.
TV magic. This one has rested for about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we take brown sugar.
Ah.
And then we're going to sprinkle brown sugar on top of it. And then you put your oven at broil.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it in for about 10 minutes to 4 hours, but more on.
I don't think you'd broil for 4 hours.
Well, I'm curious. Let's see what happens if he does.
Because we don't want the fire department coming.
All right. Well, why don't we get back sometime between 10 minutes and 4 hours?
That sounds like a good plan.
And we'll see how his creme brulee is.
Perfect.
Does that work for you, Chef Diane?
Works for me. See you guys
All
later.
right. Thank you, Chef Diane. We'll see you. All right. You like the little big Chef Diane?
Little Big Chef Diane?
Little Big Chef Diane. That was my favorite. That's the Hoffman film.
Big Little Chef Diane?
Big Little Chef Diane. Yes. Yes. I don't know why I was so excited.
Creme brulee.
Creme brulee is one of my favorite desserts in the world.
You guys know I'm a bit bougie about certain things. And when I think one of the first restaurants I ever worked in Montreal, the chef loved making creme brulee. So virtually daily we'd have a different kind of creme brulee. Sometimes it was like lavender, rosemary, or rosemary and something, all sorts. And I had to learn how to use the kitchen torch, and it scared the crap out of me because I just remember thinking like, wait, no. I said I'd come in and serve the food. I never said I was going to take responsibility for taking a flambe machine and like I'm such a princess that I think for about 3 months I got somebody else always on shift. I'd be like, I'll take these drinks out if you could just do my creme brulee, and then finally I had to learn how to do it. But yeah, I
was always had an issue with learning the torch, but then when I started to vape because I had to make my own little coils and you have to use a torch on it. It was the same so it's like after a while I was like, oh.
You also, I find easy, but I find it's one of those things where it's almost counterintuitive because the torch seems scarier.
Yeah.
But I actually think you have more control with the small kitchen torch than you have by putting something under the broiler, because the broiler depends on like how powerful is your oven, how quickly does it come to temperature, this and that. Versus if you have a handheld kitchen torch, just going like. And then deciding like, no shit, I have to go over that one more time.
For sure.
Not a big deal. But yeah.
Cool. Oh my golly, what's going on in here? I was just noticing that Kingpin was saying that Ontario used to have women have their own entrance as well. When I went to college in New Westminster, there was a very famous bar at the end of the bottom of Columbia, and one of the things that had these beautiful neon signs with the men's entrance and the women's entrance. that still, I mean, they didn't acknowledge them as that, but those signs were always there as long as that bar existed.
But it's so funny because living in an age where I think it's important to get rid of some of the symbols and statues of our past and not continue to revere certain things, I also think, like, I know exactly where the tavern is, which has the Bienvenue aux Dames, and there's something about it that doesn't, and I'm a particular kind of person, so I'm not saying that my way is your way, but I like that I drive by and I see it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, wow.
Well,
and it doesn't offend me. It's just like, oh shit, that used to be a thing, and it's not the same kind of thing as equating that with, you know, Confederate statues and that kind of thing. But it's interesting what history I think is kind of groovy to preserve, and what history is damaging and needs to just go.
But in all fairness, I also sure that there are people who would see that what you're talking about.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I'm not saying that other people shouldn't be offended by it. I always just kind of go like, oh wow, that used to be a thing where I wouldn't be allowed into that place because I have a vagina. So like, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Which is always weird when you're always on the other side of that, where it's like, oh, I'd be fine, and I feel uncomfortable with the fact that I'd be fine.
You didn't make the patriarchy.
I didn't make the patriarchy.
You just benefit from it.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. That's why I feel the same way about Amazon. The jungle, not the company. You all right? You have a drinking problem?
My first day with my new mouth.
You gonna make some batter? Batter, swing!
Batter. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's make some batter. All right.
Can you bring up the ingredients?
I'll bring up some ingredients.
I've made a little bit of a modification because it's me.
Batter.
Because the one thing that is not in that batter is egg.
Egg.
And I am perplexed by this.
Why?
Because...
Why eggs? But eggs in general?
I used to be perplexed by eggs in general. Now I'm just perplexed by eggs as it relates to this. So... Normally, when I deep fry anything, you do a flour coating, then you'll do a dip in egg, and then you dredge in whatever your batter is. Okay, but that's more of a coating than it is a batter. Right?
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah.
So, because I like to do research before I decide on recipes, crazy, I looked at a bunch of different recipes for like best beer batter and whatever. 50% of them did not use egg. 50% of them did use egg.
Okay.
So I've decided tonight I'm going to make a little compromise. And in the last couple of weeks, I have really had no ego about screwing shit up in front of you guys because that's how we learn, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the exact batter that we have posted up there, that recipe. When it comes time to frying our fish, I am going to dip one of our fish fillets into an egg wash before I coat it.
Yeah.
And I am not going to do it for the other one.
Okay.
To see if the addition of the egg makes a difference. Now, you could say to me, El Diablo, that's stupid. If you're going to use the egg, put it in the batter. That's cool. Maybe next time I'll do that. But tonight we're not doing that. So, okay. So, I am the boss of me. Blah, blah. Into this big bowl, we have 1.5 cups of flour. Can you pull up those ingredients?
There are.
Because I just need to know. In here, I have a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Oops.
There we are.
Oops.
1/4 cup of cornstarch. Come in.
How much baking powder do I need?
You need a teaspoon. Here.
Or I have my clean spoons. I thought I had clean spoons. Oh, I did have clean spoons.
Oh, then you made them dirty?
Until I made them dirty.
Oh.
Wait. Voilà.
There you go. This one's got, I think, go to the other side.
No, but I don't like that one.
Oh, yeah. I don't like this one.
I don't like
either.
it.
I don't like that one either.
It's good for the tablespoons.
Cool.
Cool. I like Mary Ev's attitude. But then again, I think since we've been doing the show, I very much like Mary Ev's attitude. So, you're all right by me, sister. Was that, you said a teaspoon, right?
A teaspoon I did.
Alrighty, tighty. I got a teaspoon of baking powder. Do you know what I recently discovered? I don't like, I will get my hands dirty with flour. I will stick my hands in salt and in sugar. Baking soda cornstarch and baking powder.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the physical, like you can't see it.
Well, they
My
have that,
hair
yeah.
is standing on edge. It's like it
Icing
gives
sugar
me.
is the same thing?
No, icing sugar is powdery.
I find
There's
same-
something about this that's almost got that like airplane blanket feeling, like that. And I can't. Like I'm nippy, and my hair is standing on edge.
That's why
like,
I
ugh.
only fly on baking soda air.
Can I have the shoop shoop? That's like the pastry cutter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thanks. So, what could you just bring out my ingredients one more
Yep,
time?
one more time. Coming on up.
We need some salt. Salt. We need some pepper. And my pepper mill is out, so we're just gonna...
Oh. You don't have your fine
My
Cambodian...
Cambodian Kampot pepper? No, the other thing I'm gonna do, just for funski, I've got some garlic powder here. I'm gonna throw a little bit of that in here. Why not?
I like a good garlic powder.
Little garlic powder. And again, you don't need to do this, friends. You can use exactly the recipe that is up there, but why not? Just have some fun. Ooh, paprika.
Always put a little
Pork and all, you know? Like, fuck it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? And again, we didn't put so much in. I didn't take the bag and go, like willy-nilly. No, just like a little bit. Add it. I'm taking my pastry cutter and I'm just, because my whisk is in the dishwasher.
Overhead there.
I'm just mixing this together so that like not all the salt is sitting on top, so that everything becomes kind of combined. Just give it like a quick, you know, now. Are we ready?
I don't know. I'm ready.
The one thing you want for this, my friends,
Is beer.
yes, but where is, okay, here we go. We want cold beer.
Cold beer. What is the temperature affected?
I couldn't really tell you.
Okay.
But we want 12 ounces of beer. I'm going to measure it out just in case.
Well, the 12 ounces is usually the standard beer.
I know, but we've got I've got a 500 milliliter. We're using Harp tonight because it was St. Pat's. And yeah. Or 1 1/3 cups is basically where we want to be ish. I'm just going to let the head. Can you pass me a spatula?
Mm-hmm.
Merci. Dans la bowl. Woo!
Beer.
Fizzy, fizzy, fizzy. Can't you see? No, you can't see because we're not on the overhead cam.
Always add your wet to your dry. Is that right?
Yes. Adding
Well, that
dry.
looks really good. That looks. I'm sorry, I didn't go overhead again so you can see the
We're fizzing.
frothy.
Stuff is happening here. We got a little bit of froth. We just want to get that nice and combined.
Do you want a whisk or is that?
I just said the whisk is in the dishwasher.
I could get. Oh, you're in there.
You could, but it's also hot because the
I'll
dishwasher
cool it
recently
down by
just
running it under cold water for you.
finished. I'm just gonna give
I'll
this.
blow on it for you.
Look at that. It's just we're combining it.
Yeah.
It's pretty well combined. It smells very beery, which again this week I've had more Guinness this week than I've had in the last year, and I'm very okay with that.
I'm not a big Guinness fan. I'm not a big stout fan in all fairness.
I never used to be, and then like I said, my first Guinness my dad took me for when I was 14, and I like choked it down because I didn't want to let him know that I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Also, and this is going to sound so snooty, but I don't mean it to sound snooty. If you haven't had a Guinness in Ireland, it changes. It's brewed there, and it changes the flavor. I like it better. But also, it genuinely is full of iron. They used to give Guinness to pregnant ladies in the hospital in Ireland, and the whole campaign.
Ironic is what they gave them Guinness is how they got pregnant in the first place.
But the whole Guinness is good for you campaign is an actual.
Yeah. I remember that.
It's a real thing. It's Guinness is actually
I remember
look it
seeing
up
all
on.
those posters,
If you don't trust me, or you don't believe me, look it up on the internet.
Well, it's like in Germany, we had the same thing with.
Nazism?
It's good for you. No, Jägermeister.
Hitler does a body good.
Yeah. Volkswagen. Where are you going to put your Volks? Right in the wagon. Right in the wagon.
All right, so we're going to let this sit for...
Four?
What time is it?
It is 20 after 6.
Jeebus.
Well, we started late,
We
so
did.
in all fairness.
All right, but we're going to let this sit for like at least 10 minutes, okay?
That said, what are you looking for in that?
I'm looking for it to just sit for 10 minutes
Yeah,
and recombine a little bit and
recombine.
well, like to meld, if you will.
There's a little bit in there. I had to finish that off.
There's some
It's
in
very
here
important.
too.
I've got some whiskey here, so we're
All right,
good.
He
Well,
takes a whiskey drink. He drinks a vodka drink. He drinks a lager drink.
Oh, it is lager. Well,
He
then
drinks
I
a
won't.
soda drink. He sings songs that remind him of the good times.
I've
He sings the songs that remind him of better
I'm
times.
always in the good times. 'Cause I'm cute.
Oh, Danny boy, Danny boy,
When
Danny
you are
boy.
a young child named Dan or Danny, the
You don't
amount
want to
of
hear Danny Boy.
times that random adults will start singing Danny Boy into your face is annoying.
And it's and they played it at my grandmother's funeral, so I'll never hear it. The
Was
same
her name
way.
Danny?
No, but
Oh, there.
she was very Irish and she loved it.
All right.
Yes.
He is here.
Who is here?
He's been very busy and he's been having some tech issues. We finally got Kingpin back, and I told Kingpin
I didn't realize we had lost him.
we had lost him. He was misplaced because he was also moving all the stuff for a while out of the hideaway
Into the new hideaway.
into the nude-away.
The new hideaway?
If
What
you're-
is
Kingpin, if
love?
you're not calling it the nude
Baby,
away,
don't hurt
you're
me.
missing something. out
Isn't that
there.
hideaway? Don't hurt me.
That's Hadaway.
Oh, it's hideaway.
Oh.
Oh, why are we doing that
I
again?
don't know. I'm gonna fix that though.
What is? Oh, it's because it doesn't like my singing.
So no, that was Hadaway, not Hideaway.
Oh, I thought it was hideaway.
I
just
and
listened, I
I
never-
don't know why I know that it's Hadaway, but I do. But he was away, and there was some computer issues trying to get stuff to us. And this week, when I said we're having the pub week episode, he said I have the perfect thing, and there is an element to traditional, old school pub culture.
Mm-hmm.
Now, nowadays you would consider a pub. You'd go down in your jeans, a t-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a time
Where people used to be fancier than
where
us?
there was a very specific thing you would wear to
Mm-hmm.
the pub, and that thing was tweed. So stir crazies everywhere.
It's time for Kingpin.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Here is a recipe for the Posh
For
District
something that you
5.
don't need right
I hit
now.
the wrong button. So Kingpin and a little bit about tweed.
Woo!
Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty. I first laid my. Hey! There you are. Well, you caught me outside during the rising of the Tweed. What's that? Never heard of the rising of the Tweed? You're in store for a treat. You see, every winter, to soften a tweed jacket, you bury it. It's called the laying of the tweed. And in the spring, the most exciting things that we look forward to, dig your tweed jacket up, shake off the dirt, and see how nice and soft it's gotten over the winter. You gotta break those tweeds in. Maybe you don't know enough about tweed. Let's talk. In Scotland and Northern Ireland, it's very damp and cold. But to combat this, the villagers dyed the wool with whatever was around, the berries, the leaves, the moss, and they spun it into this thick, heavy-duty, maybe a little bit scratchy fabric that we now call tweed. Now, the Harris Tweed Authority defines tweed as a natural fiber textile that's woven with a soft, open weave made of wool. More accurately, tweed is made of a tightly woven dyed wool. It comes in a variety of weights, weaves, and colors. This means there's no typical tweed. The material ranges from plain and lightweight to colorful and heavy, covering everything in between. Tweed was invented in the 18th century by Scottish farmers to help them endure harsh winters. During this time, tweed was woven to be a weather-resistant material. It was extremely thick and didn't feature the colorful and intricate designs it's now renowned for. Tweed as we know it was developed in the 1830s when the British aristocracy fell in love with it. Its weather-resistant properties made it the fabric of choice for the staff uniform at their country estates, and the upper classes would commission unique estate tweeds that would blend in with the surroundings of their grounds. Over the decades, as tweed production became more automated, it became more affordable enough to those outside the aristocracy. So today, it's a quintessentially British fabric that you can use to add sophisticated style to almost any outfit. And no gentleman's wardrobe is complete without at least a bit of tweed. The original name for the cloth was tweel. That's Scots for twill, the material being woven in a twilled pattern rather than a plain pattern. The story goes that the name came about almost by chance. Around 1831, a London merchant received a letter from a Hawick firm, William Watson and Sons, Dangerfield Mills, about some tweels. The merchant misinterpreted the handwriting and thought it was the trade name that was taken from the River Tweed that flows through the Scottish Borders textile area. The goods were subsequently advertised as tweed, and the name has remained ever since. Tweed is made across the United Kingdom. However, certain types of tweed can only be produced in specific locations. For example, Harris tweed must be hand-woven by the islanders at their homes in the Outer Hebrides, finished in the Outer Hebrides, and made from pure virgin wool dyed and spun in the Outer Hebrides. This is all according to the Harris Tweed Act. Similarly, Donegal tweed can only be produced in the Irish county of Donegal. So as you can see, there are many kinds of tweed in bright and lustrous colors and the traditional earth tones. This tweed isn't going to rise on its own, so I have to bid you adieu and get back to the digging. See you next time. Until then, stay dapper.
Boom! Kingpin, tweed. I love tweed.
But Audrey said she's itchy looking at all of that, and it's so funny. When I was
saying tweed so not itchy, I like it.
Oh no, I've got a wool problem. Even merino. Like my mother just bought me some merino. Like merino wool long underwear because I'm always freezing, and everyone always says, but it's not itchy, and I'm like, I am so sensitive. So when I went to Ireland, I bought this hat. I bought a couple of other things, and I bought a scarf. That I had to get rid of because it was so, like, the wool is so fabulous, but if you've got any kind of sensitivity, it's like, so I get you, Audrey. It makes me itchy too.
You know who didn't say hi today?
Who? Mr. Ling?
Mr. Ling. Hi, Mr. Ling.
Hi, Mr. Ling.
Hi,
Hold on 1
Ling.
second. He gets so excited.
Hello, Mr. Ling. Oh, he's so dancy today. We just wanted to say hi to Mr. Ling. Let him know that we appreciate everything he does. All right.
And all of his lingy goodness.
You want another cocktail?
Sure.
We're making some more cocktails.
I'm just gonna. Mr. Ling was.
Now we're gonna make what we're calling the Mayan Michelada. Now Michelada.
Can I bring up your ingredients?
Yeah, sure. Generally, I'm gonna say the Michelada is all the seasonings for a Bloody Mary or a Bloody Caesar without the tomato or clamato.
Tell them I just have to.
So basically, in this case, we're not having any tomato. We're having just the seasoning. So in this case, there's a few things we're going to use. One of the things you want is a hot sauce. Now, in the recipe that I came across, they recommend cholhua, which is very great. I love Valentina. I find it's not Frank's. I don't like a too vinegary, but this has got a really great flavor. My favorite hot sauce out of New Orleans. Also, we want some Maggai sauce or Maggai sauce.
Maggai sauce.
All Maggai sauce. You know
Made of Maggie's.
Yeah, it's made from little Pomeranian dogs.
Named Maggie.
Named Maggie. Very specific. Not anyone we know.
No.
Not
just
anyone
general Maggie dogs.
I didn't notice until you turn it. It says Lansdowne on the back.
It says Lansdowne.
That's the mall. My dad had a store in.
The street that I grew up on.
We also want a little bit of Worcestershire sauce.
Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce. It's the bester of the worst of times. The worster of the bester times.
It was the bester times. It was the Worcestershire times.
It was a little song about the wrong times. Danny boy, Danny boy.
I get knocked up.
Okay.
Not
Just like
anymore.
those ladies who had the Guinness. We also want a little agave syrup. Some lime juice.
From all of those agave cacti that grow in
Yeah.
Ireland, yeah?
And a nice smoky mezcal. God, why can I not remember this word today? A nice smoky mezcal to add some flavor. So you bring that up again. I just want to go because there's a lot of dashes. I'm gonna need you to help me out with some dashes because I'm gonna make them into the appropriate glasses.
All right, so you need half an ounce of mezcal
Half an ounce of mezcal. Okay, I can do that
per glass.
per glass. That's
Sí.
not a problem,
Por
Charlie.
favor.
So one
Half an ounce, half an ounce.
done. Next,
5 dashes of hot sauce.
5
per
dashes
glass.
of hot sauce.
Uno, do it.
1,
Tres,
2,
cuatro,
3, 4, 5. 1,
One,
2,
two,
3,
three,
4,
four,
5.
five.
All right, there you go.
Now we need 5 dashes of Maggai sauce.
Of Maggai sauce.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3 dashes of Worcester sauce.
3
please.
dashes of Worcester sauce. 1. Oh, that's
There
one.
you go.
There,
1. There you go.
There you go.
Worcester doesn't dash well. Now we need half an ounce of lime juice.
Half an ounce of lime juice. That I got right in one of these limes.
Giddy up. Do you want the citrus?
I have it right beside me. Boom.
Oh,
So-
and one more time, just in case.
There we go. So half an ounce of lime juice.
Half per glass.
Yep. Half, so 1. Get out of there, you son of a gun. Put that into here. We go to here. We do another half an ounce. Perfect.
Quarter ounce agave.
Quarter ounce of agave.
Or agave, if you're
Quarter
malversed.
ounce is, I'm just going to go 2 bar spoons in each.
Or if you don't know how to pronounce things. Agave syrup.
Agave.
So,
I gave some syrup to Bob, and Bob gave it back to me.
agave.
All right, there's 1. Oh. And
No,
there.
you want some Mexican lager, and I don't see that.
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
is
gonna
in the fridge.
I'm going to reach into the frigo.
Now, before I go to the Mexican lager, the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that this little bit is all stirred up nice and good. And can you also grab me the ice, please, my angel?
Ice, please, my angel.
All right.
That was my nickname in high school. Hold on,
And-
I'm dealing with my fish.
Okay, well, I'll grab that. Don't worry about it. I got it. You touch your fish and I will grab all this other stuff.
It's not a fish.
Need another one of these. All right. So now that we have, so we took our little spirit base, all of our seasonings and our mezcal, sat it in the base of this. Now we're just going to quickly open up.
Smarty pants agave at the office.
There we are. Now I'm just going to add, I want to add just a couple. I don't want to fill this up with ice. I just want to add a couple into each. Just to, and we are going to go.
While Danny D is doing that, I'm just going to rinse the fish that we're cooking and pat it dry. I always want to clean it off, make sure if I can run my fingers over it, there's like some extra little bones and stuff. Just cold water, give it a rinse, and a little pat dry. With some, paper towels. You don't know this, I'm bad at paper towels. You could say, but El Diablo, how are you bad at paper towels? They are perforated. Still bad at paper towels.
You are. It's one thing I noticed about when we started dating.
Yep.
You
I
don't
can
do
never-
you don't do paper towels well.
Nope, I can't ever rip them off in one piece.
Don't know what that is. All right, and we're just going to quickly
You quickly. I'm gonna quickly.
one of those, one of these. We're going to take a wheel each.
A wheel?
A wheel each.
One wheel?
And there we go. We're going to put that in there.
That's really
and we're
awesome.
going to put that in there. And there we have the Mayan Michelada.
I like it, and in 1
Look
second.
at that drink.
That looks delicious. Pair with me 1 second.
Yeah. So again, what we're looking at this thing is all those sort of, hang on,
All of the
those sort of spices and the savory elements, and the smokiness of the mezcal to add to a nice light beer.
Chin.
There we go.
I love that this is in our Christmas story glasses.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I really like that.
That's nice. It's deceptively refreshing.
And it's got a really nice smoke to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the thing about mezcal. You don't want to push mezcal too much because it's got so much smoky flavor to it.
Mm-hmm. Don't push it.
It doesn't need you forcing it.
Just let it be.
And that's really nice. You get a little bit of that citrus in there. You get, and again, Mexican lager, so you get something that's nice. It's a lighter, fresher, cleaner, brighter beer.
It's a lighter, better, fresher, brighter beer than
Longer, faster?
Then what?
Then I find a traditional North American, traditional like Canadian and American lager or a British lager. Mexican lagers I find have a lot more citrus notes on them,
yes,
and they're a lot lighter tasting.
That's really good.
It's really nice.
That's really good.
It's deceptively brown, but it's really a delicious drink.
But that's your Worcester and your Maggai sauce.
Yeah.
And
give you a little bit of stir here. Mix that all together.
I'm digging that.
I think
definitely.
That's really nice. I like that. I honestly like. I love tomato juice or clamato juice and beer. I think it's a really nice combination. But I'm not a big fan of Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
This I like a lot better.
It's good, guys.
That's a good go-to.
Yeah. It's also with your huevos rancheros.
Oh yeah.
This is a good
you're looking for a breakfast drink.
Breakfast beer drink, yep. And
I
know
breakfast beer.
El Diablo, yep, breakfast beer drink.
Well, I'm sorry. We're living in the land of COVID.
Trust me, I can see every time I look over there how much COVID.
If you haven't had breakfast beer in the past year,
what are you even doing?
I'm disappointed.
Then you must still have a job.
I'm oddly disappointed in you. So that's the Mayan Michelada. Beautiful beer cocktail with some great savory notes to it. We don't do a lot of savory cocktails. Listen to them.
I love me a savory cocktail. You know me. I don't unless I'm on a beach. I'm really not about the sweet cocktails.
All right.
Or unless it's that delicious cinnamon toast crunch rum chata cocktail that you made, because that was next level.
I'll make that again for you.
Thank
Make
you.
Make one for you later with a little bit of rum chata left.
All right. Well, no, I don't need that tonight. I've got spicy flavors.
All right, we'll make you some more of this, and I have a whole other bottle of that in case we want to make it a little smokier.
Cool. Did we want to ask a second question?
Let's ask a second question.
I'm also just so you know, before we ask the question, I'm gonna pour some.
Lift that up. Oh, let me get the corner, and you can.
No worries.
There you go.
You could say, El Diablo, you haven't battered your fish yet. That's cool, guys, or friends. Sorry, I have to stop saying guys. It's gang. Yeah, gang is better, folks. But I'm one of those people who pushes back on the dudes and the guys, because that to me is just gender neutral. But that doesn't mean that other people don't think it's gender neutral. So my apologies. Working on it. I'm gonna get my oil in here.
Got enough oil? You want more oil?
Ugh, you know me. I love deep fat frying. I hate it. I want a little bit more oil, please.
All right, where's the more?
The more oil is actually in the pantry on the bottom shelf.
Got it.
I also want a wee cloth to stick in my trousers.
Easy.
What? El Diablo? Yes.
How about
no. It's for me. It's for my hands.
Oh, I see.
To wee
Here, you
cloth
tell me when to stop.
to stick in my pants. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3.
I don't know if I'm supposed to go to 3 or you're supposed to go to 3.
If you do not have one of these and you like to fry things not in your air fryer, it's a candy and deep fat thermometer. Why do I want this, El Diablo? Well, friendlies, you want this because when you're frying, this one doesn't like to sit well on the thingy.
You talk to them, I'll fix this.
You want to keep your temperature at a consistent heat, right? Like you don't want it to jump from 350 to 390 to whatever. If you want a consistent fry, you want a consistent temperature. So doing this and having the temperature, the thermometer there will help you gauge how hot. Also, because we have this scary machine menu, Where is my
Temperature?
temperature?
Go hit. So,
Temperature.
menu, there you go.
We want this at, I wanted it at 350.
One thing I've noticed
Ours
from,
goes between 340 and 360. For now, I'm going to put it at 360.
Can I get?
Yep,
When I was frying before to get this up to about 350,
Yep.
I had to go about 380
that's fine. But right now, I'm going to
because
put
it never came up until.
All right, I put it at 375 because I'm an argumentative bitch, and that's
Didn't
that.
have to say it out loud.
Now, I'm just going to get that going. I'm going to push this out of the way a tiny bit.
Why?
So that, why? Because I have to batter fish.
Oh, you should batter your fish.
So while I'm battering
Fish
fish,
your batter.
we're going to, you know what I decided something, friends?
I'm going overhead to see what your fish looks like.
My
Let's
fish,
show them the fish.
my
Show
fish,
them the fish.
my fish is dry and clean. I'm using haddock tonight. I'm going to use,
I love haddock.
you don't want salmon for this. Salmon is really oily.
No.
It's not going to hold the batter
love
properly. You could halibut.
Just for the halibut, though.
You could do it just for the halibut. Some salt and pepper. You could also use cod. You could use tilapia if you wanted to.
Yep.
The only thing I wouldn't really use, like
Flounder is also nice.
I wouldn't use
Trout. I wouldn't use trout.
I wouldn't use salmon. I wouldn't use trout. I wouldn't use tuna. Like this is a nice flaky white fish that's going to take the batter well.
But also, I think you don't
it's
want
not.
it to. Sorry.
It's not. Thank you. It's not super stodgy.
But also, you don't
there's-
want something with a lot of flavor.
And again, I think flavor depends on how you cook it. Like I remember living in England and going for breakfast. Like I remember it as though it was yesterday, and it's been almost 20 years, where I ordered a scrambled eggs with smoked haddock, and it was, how about some 420 powder? I don't have powder with me right now.
420 powder.
I do have oil.
What is 420 powder?
Weed powder.
Wheat powder?
But you don't want to cook like. I could put it in the oil. We can talk about this later.
Fascinated by this. I don't know
Hang
what
out.
wheat powder is.
Well, I'm not sure if someone means like shake and I could powder it up,
Oh,
or
I
if
could
someone
shake
means
it,
like distillate or whatever. But anyway, when you smoke a fish, regardless of the fish,
If you have a haddock, just take 2 aspirin. Thanks
For the halibut.
Haddock, of course, the band that sang "What Is Love."
no, that was Kingpin and the Hideaway, no?
Oh, right.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so I just remember it stayed with me so long that I had this scrambled eggs with smoked haddock, and I couldn't eat it. The fish, the smoky fish taste was so, and I don't like that. Like I love
What do
fish.
you love smoked salmon?
I love smoked salmon, but I'm very particular about like I love
Do
smoked
you like
salmon.
a smoked kipper?
I've never had a smoked kipper in my life because it's too much. But I even find with smoked meats, like I'm not.
Yeah,
such
you're not a big
I'm not
smoke. You don't like smoke.
No, I like
As a
smoked salmon.
flavor accent.
Um,
I love smoky food.
But anyway, a white, let's call it unobtrusive fish. Something that doesn't have a huge own flavor to it. Something that's not like a salmon that's going to ooze natural oils. And something that's not like a tuna, because I think that's a sacrilege. Tuna is so delicious on its own, just raw.
But I also think
that-
tuna I put in the same way like marlin or shark, where it's such a meaty fish that I think in order to cook it through properly in the deep fry, you'd have to put it in for a lot longer, and you'd probably
Overcook it.
Overcook your batter.
Okay, pardon me for 1 second.
Go, go, go.
I also now look like a cone head now that I've put my hair up. Hi, look.
All right,
I'm like a little mushroom head.
you do. We've
Here
done that.
comes
We've
the
done
little
that.
mushroom to make some fish. So we're just gonna look at that. Can we go overhead for a second?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to figure out where we are on our list here.
Guys, I didn't egg. I think in case
on,
in case you didn't get that message,
There we
I
are.
chose not to egg this.
Well, I don't know if you need to egg a batter.
I don't think I needed to. I could have.
What are you at? You're only at 200 up here, by the way.
It's coming.
It's coming. So while you're battering,
I'm
you're
battering.
going to batter your fish.
Swing.
While you're battering,
Yes.
you know, I think we need to add a little more pubbiness.
Okay, that's
To
cool.
this whole
Let's
thing.
add more pubbiness.
So, I have a buddy of mine. Last time I played with him was in a pub in Dorval, or just outside of. Yeah, I think you're. Yeah, I played with him in Dorval. I think it was
Where in Dorval?
Dorval.
At the Pioneer, because that's Pointe-Claire.
No, it wasn't at the Pioneer. It was on somewhere else.
Okay,
but it was
cool.
to the
In
other
the
side
west.
of the 20.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little west of the circle.
Okay, cool.
We went and we played. He had an event with his band, and it was an all-night kind of deal. It was a fun show, and it was the last time I played with him. And this man's played so many pubs across the world, and I know him because he's also a brilliant actor. And
I know him because I choreographed him many moons ago.
Yes, and I've been wanting to get on the show. Mm-hmm. We finally all worked out. Okay. So, without further ado,
no more dudes, please.
The incredible
Paul Kinnaman!
Paul Kinnaman!
Right, I don't know.
Dan, Elle, how are you both? You want a pub tunes? Classic pub tunes. You got classic pub tunes. Here we go. Heading on south to the land of the pine, thumbing my way down to North Carolina, and I'm clearing up the road. Play to God, I see headlights, and I'm headed down the coast in 17 hours, and I'm picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping for Raleigh so I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. And I'm running from the cold up in New England. I was born to be a fiddler in an old-time string band. Baby plays the guitar, I pick a banjo now. Oh, North County winters keep on getting me down. Lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave town. I ain't going back to living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. And I'm walking to the south, out of Roanoke. I met a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long tote. But he's heading west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnson City, Tennessee. And I gotta get a move on before the sun. Hear my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. And if I die at Raleigh, at least I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Oh, mama, rock me now. Yeah, take you down to the Georgia pine. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, 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 rock me.
Paul Kinnaman! Oh my God, that voice, he's so...
Paul, I miss you. Yeah.
Paul,
cheers. And it also makes me miss the pub. I remember when I was in Ireland, I could just sit there for hours and lose myself listening to people play guitar. And there's something about the Irish, Scottish, and the British.
Yeah.
There's a Celtic musical spirit there that I just find is exceptional. Yeah. It really is. Thank you, Paul.
Paul is the ultimate pub guy. When I love working with him.
And he's a lovely human.
Somebody had asked earlier about corn is not healthy, and
I don't know why we're talking about corn.
We don't have corn on the show. We have no corn on the show.
We got the no corn.
But
yes, we have no bananas.
I don't know. I disagree. I think corn is healthy.
Well, some people, actually, we had this conversation earlier today. Some people, I love the taste of corn. It doesn't, your body doesn't digest corn, so it's kind of like a scrub brush for your insides.
Exactly.
So I'm not sure, I don't know who said that, or if they're even still with us. But like, I feel you.
I didn't realize Audrey told that person that they're not good.
That they're not good for people. I'm gonna try. I have a tiny little piece of fish here. I'm just putting it in here. We're gonna see how it goes.
While you try that, let's go check on some.
See what Chef Deanne's up to.
Let's see what Chef Deanne's on. One more time, it's Chef Deanne. Chef Deanne, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here.
You are. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you deal with Chef Deanne. Chef Deanne, I'm sorry.
Well, I gotta be right here so I can be in the
There's
shot.
some things happening here. Chef
Okay,
Deanne.
you deal with that.
I will.
How are you, Chef Deanne? Do you have some?
I have
look at that creme brulee.
Look at those creme brulee. I did different layer of sugar. I wasn't putting on it. Some of them it's really like minimalistic.
Yeah.
But on this one, look
at that.
Well, let me see. Chef Deanne, sorry, I apologize. I turned my.
Oh, look at that sexy son of a gun.
You have that little tick tick sound noise that I love.
Yeah.
So for something I did with like shitty Jello, this looks legit.
How does it taste?
Well, that's what I say about you every week, though.
Your food sounded good, but I think that's secondary to how it tastes. No?
It tastes very good.
Tastes very good.
Very better than that Dr. Hooker thing we had before. So
the Dr. Oker.
Dr. Oker has no business making food if he's just a doctor.
Dr. Oker makes a good pizza.
You think?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Very good pizza.
No.
Anyway,
it's working. It worked. Very
Jello, sugar. You got creme brulee.
I have a question for Chef Deanne though.
Yeah.
Chef Deanne, do you think that if you used a different flavor of Jello pudding, for example, like a chocolate pudding or a lemon pudding, do you think you would achieve the same creme brulee style result?
Probably. Well, maybe. I never had like chocolate creme brulee. Like I always had like those vanilla-ish type of creme brulee.
Mm-hmm.
With lemon, I don't think I would like it with lemon gel. Speaking of lemon pudding, last week when you canceled,
yes, we did.
Hell of a show that
we didn't.
I had so much stuff planned, and I poisoned myself.
You poisoned
yourself? What happened?
I poisoned myself because I made it was supposed to be like a lemon pudding. So I made the lemon pudding and I tasted it and I felt like, it doesn't taste lemony. It lacks some lemon. So I whip out some lemon juice and just start squeezing lemon juice into the thing and mix it up and taste it. And it was like, tastes funny. And I did it like quite a few times and then I realized that thing is full of milk. Like I was mixing milk and
so you curdled the milk in your own stomach is what you're saying. Oh la la.
Yeah.
Il faut souffrir pour être belle, Chef Deanne.
Oh, well.
I don't recommend that one. Anyway,
Chef Deanne, ladies. Stir crazies everywhere.
Thank you for suffering so we don't have to, Chef Deanne.
Are you going to be here for our 1-year anniversary next week?
I will be here.
We will see you next week then, Chef Deanne.
Yes.
Bye.
Oh, so good. What a good show. Tweed. Paul Kinnaman's voice.
Some
Chef
fish and
Deanne,
chips.
Some fish and chips. I'm very excited for fish and chips.
We've made chips.
Can we show them the fish?
In 1 second.
Okay.
We've made chips on the show before, friends. So I didn't feel the need. What did I just do? It's fine. We're going to pay attention. I didn't feel the need to show you how we're doing it again. And it was funny because before the show, Danny D said to me, just take some oven fries and throw them in the air fryer. And I said, no. So in the background, you might be able to hear it. The air fryer is going.
Hang on, I know how we can see.
Oh, you can take the fly cam.
Yeah, we haven't played with. Look, I'm going to go this. I'm going to go first of all. Let's do this. Oh, look at this beauty. What's going on over here?
I'm just going to give this a little flip speed.
Oh, that looks like just beautiful fish and chips. And then if we come back over here, then we see cocktail stuff. There's all that. There's our batter. Look at the batter. It's so
Showing
nice.
batter.
And then over here, the air fryer is cooking.
And then Mr. Ling is
And then
surveilling.
Mr. Ling is sitting there saying, "Hey guys,
It's
what about
amazing.
me?"
When we
And
bought
he's saying,
him-
"Hey, Mr. Ling."
When we bought him in Thailand, we never knew he'd be the mascot of our show. But
I
there
think
you go.
I'm quite happy about this one. This looks incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
You've never made fish and chips before, like beer battered fish and chips.
I don't like it
At
when
least
you,
for me, since I've been with you.
I don't like it when you tell people that I'm attempting things for the first time on
No,
the show.
but what I'm trying to say is,
I'm trying to
I'm
tell
not trying
people-
to say. I never said, first of all, that you had you just never made this until we decided to do this for the show.
I've never made this in my life.
Okay, so this is your first attempt. I wasn't trying to tip you off. I was trying to say,
No.
up until we done the show, you had never done fish and chips.
I have never done fish and chips.
And this looks like beautiful fish and
I have
chips.
never beer battered a thing in my life. On one hand, I wanted to get that nice gold crispiness.
Oh,
I'm
look
just
at
gonna
that.
keep. Here's the deal,
Dude,
friends.
might need
You
to come up
never
a bit more.
wanna. We can bring that up a bit. I just don't want to burn off my face.
No, I know. I'm just looking at the temperature here.
You have to be very careful. Some of you are eating the box tea that I made this week. Sometimes, yes, please. I tend to get nervous sometimes because I feel like I have to be. In Yiddish, we say futzing. You could also say fucking with. I feel like I have constantly need to be moving my food. You don't. Sometimes, especially for stuff like pancakes, box tea, even for searing meat, you want it to sit on that heat for a while. And you have to fight the temptation
To take it
be
off.
like, oh no, it's gonna burn. Now, at the same
Steak
time,
is a big one
there
for
was
that.
plenty of box tea that I didn't offer to anybody because they weren't burnt. They were just way darker
Way
because
darker.
I forgot to pay attention. I'm gonna take this
little
little guy
guy.
out. Yeah. He's just a little.
I'm gonna go overhead just so people can see how beautiful that guy. Move that guy over to the middle there.
Okay, hold on.
Look how beautiful that little guy is.
It's a pretty little guy.
That is a beautiful fish nugget.
The other thing you
You're
guys.
my beautiful fish
Okay.
nugget.
Oh, don't ever call me a fish nugget ever again.
Hey,
Ugh. I don't like the implication.
no, you were
Yeah, but there's
a tiny delicate piece of fish.
Yes, that's me, a tiny, delicate piece of fish. The other thing we want to be careful of when we're deep frying, my friends, is not to
Don't deep fry your
over.
friends. Never.
Deep frying my
First,
friends.
at least ask first.
I do, and some of my friends are weird. But you don't want to overcrowd your pan. Sometimes it's going to take you an extra 5 to 7 minutes to cook an additional piece of X, an additional pancake, an additional piece of
Yeah.
fish, an additional whatever the case may be. You are worth it. You're worth that extra 5 minutes. When you try to cram too much stuff
Yeah.
into your pan, it's just sadness for you. It's not going to work out well.
Can I interrupt you?
You may.
While you're cooking there, I want to move on to a couple of things.
Okay.
First of all, we're going to come back to the last question. We're going to still answer the last question.
Okay.
But for those of you who don't know and haven't taken advantage of it yet, and there's a lot of, most people here have, I'm pretty sure, Stir Crazy has the Stir Crazy Kitchen offer. If you like watching us cook, you should taste some of the food that this amazing person cooks.
Thank you. You help too.
I do too. And we have been offering a service for the past 2 weeks called the
What a
Stir
month
Crazy Kitchen. Huh?
It's a month.
Month now.
Yeah.
So every week there's a new menu of things you can order, and we will make if you order this weekend, and you order by getting a hold of us on the Stir Crazy Insta or on your personal Insta, and you can order all the stuff this week. Wait, I gotta go
So this week this past week, I delivered yesterday. Wednesday is delivery day, by the way,
Yeah.
unless you make different arrangements with me, and that's possible. We just have to talk about it. This week I went Irish for St. Patrick's. So we did beer and cheese soup,
Yeah.
tomato soup, cottage pie, and
Box.
box soup.
So this week, here is the menu for this week.
We're going a little bit more Italiano.
Got it. So the soups this week will be minestrone and a cream of
Cream of
spinach.
spinach. I love cream of
Delicious
spinach.
cream of spinach. And they are, of course, $8 for a 500 ml jar. No?
I've decided I'm doing away with the 500 milliliter jars.
Oh, well, that's not
No,
good.
no, but I did. I said $12. I didn't put $8 to
Oh, I didn't
Yep.
quite understand what
Yeah,
that
that's
meant.
fine.
I didn't.
No worries.
All right, so ignore the $8.
$12 a liter.
$12 for a liter of delicious soup. In this case, we have the minestrone and the cream of spinach. The mains you're doing this week, you're doing a pasta al forno
Which, thank you, Donata, if you're watching. We're actually doing a baked.
want to eat it.
Well, try it. But I think you should get the tartar sauce too.
I know. I just want to try it. Oh yeah, that's a good pattern. Go on.
But not me.
Yeah.
So Donata DeLuca informed me yesterday when I said baked ziti, and she said, and this is an Italian friend of mine, what's a ziti? Isn't it just pasta al forno? So I learned something yesterday. Pasta al forno, the direct translation from Italian, is pasta in the oven. So basically I'm doing pasta al forno next week.
Is it pasta in the oven? In the fire?
Forno is furnace or no, oven. But
That was really good.
this is actually surprisingly delicious. All right, I'm going to take this guy
So you're
out.
doing some kind of baked pasta.
It will be ziti or rigatoni with probably. It's not vegetarian, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
going
be
to use probably Italian sausage and some other assorted deliciousness.
Some veal or some.
No, Italian sausage
Oh,
probably.
okay.
And that's $15 for a very large personal serving.
Yeah.
Again, if you happen to have a family and you want to get in touch with me and you want to say, but I need for 4, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And I'm making schnitzel again because my sister asked for it and I'm already making it. So
You haven't had the schnitzel. The schnitzel's good, and also
It's
for
chicken
me
schnitzel.
because it's chicken schnitzel.
it's not veal.
It's chicken schnitzel, and I will say this: we don't talk about it enough, but the schnitzel sandwich is such an impeccable thing that you have the schnitzel to make the sandwich. And what's nice about the schnitzel sandwich is it can be cold or it can be hot.
Yep.
And hot with the melty cheese on it's great, but cold with some nice tomato on it is also beautiful.
Or you know that shitty garlic bread that comes in the put it in the
Oh
oven
yeah,
bag?
that was the game we discovered this week.
we played that game last week. Make the garlic
And
bread.
I disagree. That's not a shitty. That's the best garlic bread.
Yeah, but it's not like okay. I call it shitty garlic bread because it's not like okay. I don't know what a high-end garlic bread is really, but it's like you buy it at Maxi. It's like super whatever, but it's like the perfect
the garlic bread that comes in the tinfoil.
in the tinfoil bag.
The tinfoil bag. That is still to me the best garlic bread there is. As my favorite. The only one that was ever better was what you guys call Brovigo out here, which is the Great Canadian Superstore.
Yep.
Was back. They used to do this sort of cheese garlic bread. It was a big loaf that was garlic bread, but then they would put cheese on top of it. It was delicious.
Well,
But
anyway, so
this
this week we've got schnitzel. It's $10 a piece. It's chicken. I'm not doing veal. Again, if you have special requests, you're always welcome to contact me. I'm not promising that I can fill your special request. We can try. We can talk. So chicken schnitzel,
But if you
$10
want
a piece,
$10 a
or
piece?
3 pieces of schnitzel for $25. And that's like a week's worth of food.
The ziti or the forno is still 15,
15?
and then $12 a soup
12
for a
bucks
liter
for
of
the
soup, and all of it is incredible. It will be delivered.
$10
to you.
delivery fee on the island of Montreal, and then you get to see half my face.
Yeah, and we'll change what half you see.
Well, no,
Sometimes.
I always have to have my nose covered, but
Oh.
other than that,
Sometimes it's the left half.
oh.
Well,
This guy was a
I
little
think you turned that guy too soon.
No, but he was also a little bit long for the pan, and he folded on.
He's a little long for the pan. It sounds
He's
like
not
it sounds
long
like a
for this
euph-
pan.
It sounds like a euphemism.
This fish not long.
All
for this
right,
pan.
that's the show. Let's come back. This I wish
Hold
we
on,
had.
hold on, 1 second. We will. We have
I mean, chips.
chips are happening in 3 minutes. Not even.
No. Oh, that maybe. There's still going to be a little.
We'll post pictures maybe if we remember.
No, we have lots of talk. You know, we haven't asked a question.
We have, okay, let's ask. But we also, if you feel like we have overstepped our 2-hour
We've
boundary,
never overstepped our welcome.
then you
We're
can
so
log
you're
off.
welcome. No, don't. If you log off, I will find you, and I will sternly complain. One last question. Here we go. This is the last. Oh, so Jimmy Crips, I'm so sorry. Last question. What is your order when you go into a classic pub?
Food or alcohol?
I'm saying your order. That could be both. It could be a specific type of drink. When I think about a pub, I think about both things. To me, food is Like, I can't think about going into a pub without fish and chips. If they've got they got fish and chips, I have to try it.
Yes, but you don't know if it's good. So
I don't know if it's good, but I have to try
Yep.
it. Fish and chips I love it so much, but I love that really traditional, like this is my favorite type of fish and chip. So that is my favorite thing. And then when I order, I like a lager and lime.
Okay.
Lager, lime cordial,
Yep.
nice drink.
I am on the same page as you. I have to try fish and chips everywhere.
Yep.
Or a jacket potato. Proper jacket potatoes in the UK and Ireland, like jacket potato, but snake bite is my drink of choice.
Oh, I like a snake bite too.
But there are certain pubs in London, like I remember when I went to the Oxford-Cambridge boat races, there are certain pubs in London that will not serve a snake bite because apparently you get drunk so fast.
Well,
and that's maybe why I love it so much.
the whole point of a snake
So
bite.
yeah, snake bite and fish and chips.
That's a good one. Let's see, what do people have in
Why
here?
do you, wait,
Miss the Aubrey says food, French fries, ah ha ha.
oh, Vindaloo? Okay.
Vindaloo from Kingpin. Oh, let me go first. Oh, the wrong button. There we go. IPA and calamari for my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. Steak and kid pie. Wow.
You shouldn't be eating kids.
Don't eat
man.
children. That's a terrible thing. Or the
Can't believe we have
plowman's
to tell
lunch.
you. Oh, plowman's lunch. Yeah, okay.
Do you guys have the Elephant Castle out here? Is that a nationwide?
No, it's not. It
Okay.
doesn't. Of course, it doesn't exist. It probably is nationwide, minus Quebec.
Yeah. So Elephant Castle is a place I used to go to. My dad always worked near an Elephant Castle. They're often in malls. And if you needed a quick sort of closest approximation to a British pub fix, it was always good to go to. Let's see, steak and kid pie or the plowman's lunch with beer and scotch to top off the meal.
Yes.
Misty says, if I think about it, the Duke of Duckworth in Newfoundland, I need fish and chips with dressing and gravy and beer on tap. So probably Guinness or cider. Fish and chips from Joe Schmula. Chip Buddy and a lager from Kingpin.
Oh my God, a chip buddy.
And
I gained
also,
so
Misty
much
also
weight
got a snake bite.
when I lived in England. Like, trust me, I've gained a lot of weight this year too. But I gained so much weight when I lived in Birmingham. Every night used to be finished with and I also worked in a restaurant, so we'd finish our shift and whatever, and then we'd go eat chip buddies. And if you don't know what a chip buddy is, it's a naan bread filled with French fries.
Yeah, the weird one.
And most people used to do curry sauce, but because I'm so me, it would be naan bread, French fries, and mayo. And god damn it, was it good.
You go in that. Go a little bit more in the front.
Also,
There we go.
anything from Hassan's kebab van in Oxford was the kebab van is such a, we don't have them in Canada properly, but
Yeah.
it's a thing.
I love a good chip shop.
I remember going to Bewdley once and getting proper fish and chips in the newsprint and sitting on the side of the river and eating it. And I just have never felt more like British.
You know, that might actually be a really good theme for the show at some point, is that post-bar food.
Or the late
Late
night
food,
snack.
like that. We did sort of with the donair, with the Halifax style donair. But I think.
We also did nightcap the other day of late night.
Yeah, but I think there's the difference between a nightcap at home and that you're drunk, you came out of the club, this is open. What's your
kebab
go-to?
van. Kebab van, chips and cheese, chips and chili and cheese, chip buddy.
Oh, I like a good. Yeah, no, that's good. Let's go back to here.
All right.
All right.
Is that yours or is that yours?
Yes, one of them is mine. I think the darker one. I think you're good here. This one looks really good, eh?
Well, great, eh? So
Hey,
good, eh?
So good, eh?
Halifax donair, eh? Oh, did you put that chip in the?
I did. Oh, you ate my chip that I fried.
Oh,
No, it's too late. I ruined it. All right. It's good. Hang on. Ah, don't do. You're so dangerous. I love that meme that people are doing on TikTok. You see where people's like, "This is me around the oil. This is my mom or my dad around there," when they put their hands in it and they splash it all over their face. And
I've never seen that.
it's funny. It's basically the whole idea is whenever I'm frying anything, I'm terrified the oil's going to burn me. My parents who've been doing it for years is like, man, it's
Yeah.
nothing. You're never going to hurt.
Oh, I ended up with the biggest blister on my finger this week because I seem to think it's okay when things are boiling for me to stick my finger in and check to make sure
I think we're
everything's all
good
right.
on that.
I think we are. So look what
Look
we've
at
made
this.
this.
Let me go overhead
Hold
so
on,
that we can
friends,
see
one
this.
second. I'm gonna actually.
You grab a bit of fry. I'm gonna let you plate it up a little bit. But this is, I'm just stealing that little piece right there. Oh, it's hot. I know it's right. It came right out, but it's so good.
Okay, here we go. Here's our meal for tonight, my friends.
Oh,
Ooh, turn that off. We have
that's so good.
air fryer chips.
You put it, plate it, and then I will go overhead.
Oh, go
Let me show it.
on.
Oh, you're just going to show it like that? Okay. All right, so here we go. This is how it looks. Look at that fish. So good. Oh, this piece is so good.
Oh my goodness. Also, friendlies. I'm obsessed with McDonald's. I wish I wasn't. I really wish I wasn't. I'd be so much skinnier if I didn't do McDonald's all the time. But the McDonald's tartar sauce is one of my favorite guilty pleasures. And this is probably the closest I have ever gotten to approximating that flavor. This is
It's really good. It's really good, but to me, it's this.
Oh, listen to that.
That crunch. I don't know if you hear that?
Did you hear
Yeah,
it? Hold on.
This here, you can take
Oh,
that
thanks.
one.
Here, I'm just going to take a little spoon, actually, so I don't have to dip it in there and lose the batter. But, yeah, this was not a complicated thing to do, my friends. As is really nothing that we do on the
But
show.
that's the thing I think what is interesting about and what I love about doing this show is that one of the things that's fun to watch is that all of this stuff that we eat, we've made very sort of common go to a pub eat kind of thing to some stuff quite elegant, quite delicate, quite none of it is crazy. And the end run of the show is 2 hours. None of it can't be made in a couple of hours, and most of the time we're doing a bunch of other stuff in that 2 hours as well.
So you got to figure that within 2 hours on the, thank you, with the exception of the times that we make dough and I do some of it beforehand so that we have like the dough that we make on the show and then the dough I can punch and whatever. Everything we're doing is done in essence, let's call it in under an hour and a half.
Yep.
And if you don't have an hour and a half to take care of yourself, well,
Especially now.
First of all, you can call me and I'll take care of you just fine.
Yeah.
But also, you can do this. And 90% of the time, if it goes wrong, it's still going to taste pretty good.
Yeah. The best part about
90%
cooking
of the time.
and cocktails is at the end, even you gotta even eat your mistakes, and it's still worth it, unless you're chef the and you make curl some milk in your stomach.
And then not good. But then guess what? You don't
learn.
do that again. I'm Elle Diabloe.
Before we go, I want to thank everybody who's been on the show. Chef Duyan, thank you very much for
Butterscotch
being.
Blondie.
Paul Kinnenmith, thank you so much for being here. And of course, Kingpin.
Love you,
Elle
buddy.
and Tweed.
I'm Elle Diabloe.
I'm the Divine Danny D.
If you have questions about food or anything really, hit us up. We're around.
At Stir Crazy Show on the Instagram.
Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what you waiting for?
Come subscribe.
Come subscribe. It'll be good for you.
Love
It'll be
you
good for
all.
us. Bye.
Bye.